So builders have one price that they're able to put on the MLS, and they have internal numbers that they're putting out there, but they only put it out to agents who they trust. And they'll say, you know what, we got this one here for like, let's say 820,000, but we're willing to let it go for 720. And these are the types of deals.
We saw so many of them this year. It's
and
so
we've
exciting.
got those under our belts now where we've saved our clients literally $100,000 on one property.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast. Today, I have Sean and Blanca. They are real estate agents here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And remind me, you guys are licensed to close on homes in another state?
Yep,
Yes.
Minneapolis and here in Dallas.
Okay.
In Mexico.
Oh, that is true. Well, today we're going to be talking about new construction here in Texas, North Dallas specifically. There are so many areas where they're doing new construction. And I want to talk to the experts. I want them to tell me what is it that they see out there? What are the pros and cons of new construction in general when it comes to a real estate agent, when it comes to the lending? I want to hear all of it.
All right, Blanca, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. Well, what we've been noticing because a lot of people are coming to Dallas and a lot of our clients are gravitating toward new construction homes. And today we want to talk about not only about that, but the misconceptions, right?
Right.
What are the pitfalls and what are we seeing? And honestly, there are some big pitfalls, a lot of misconceptions about what buyers should and shouldn't be doing. And we might as well just start about number one is that running into a builder without an agent or even a loan officer that is not working for the builder, and they're going to just suck you into the funnel of no return. Things are going to happen so fast that all of a sudden you'll have a contract signed, or maybe not. Maybe you'll just have your money. They'll have your money hostage, and you won't even have a contract. So this is what we've been seeing. Just to give you guys a quick glance, one of our clients called us, thankfully, and he just was touring some homes with a national builder, a very well national builder, and they were asking him for money, asking for $10,000 before he even had his numbers written out.
Wow.
Before he even saw the contract. He didn't understand the neighborhood. It was actually a neighborhood up North Salina, so very far from where he wanted to live. And so he was going to have to wait another 3 years before the pools and all the infrastructure was going to be done in the neighborhood. And he was getting pressured to get into this situation.
Because they don't tell you everything, right? The little details that matter the most.
Yes, and so he was not our client yet. So he called and said, this is going too fast. I'm freaking out because this looks like an amazing opportunity. It's going to be ready.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. It's going to be, they want $10,000 from me. And that's when I said, wait. It was 8 p.m. We ran to his house and we started asking all the questions like, what about association? He goes, wait, what? True. Like I didn't think about that. If the amenities are not going to be ready, why are you going to start paying association now?
Oh, that makes so much sense. I feel like we're trying to save as much as we can, right? I went to CVS this morning and I had like 40 coupons, right? And I'm like, wow, like I should really get into couponing, right? They teases you. And the same thing happens in real life. You go out there and you fall in love with the house. You don't even know how much you can qualify for. What about your monthly payment? And you let yourself go and you say, oh, I don't need an agent, right?
Right.
Because it's a new construction, it's a new home. Why would I need an agent?
Right. Which is very funny because we went with them to the next appointment where the real estate agent from the builder was waiting for them. And that agent was not very happy to see us.
Oh, I see. So I think it's important for us to understand that when you go and buy new construction, you don't necessarily save money if you don't use an agent. Everything is commission in real estate. And so I think that we think as consumers that if we go to new construction without an agent, we're going to save money.
But I always say to people, would you go to court without a lawyer?
Right.
Because it's the same thing. You're going in completely vulnerable. You have no representation. Nobody's looking out for you. Nobody's looking at the blind spots because you might know or you might have already owned other homes, but you don't know what you don't know, especially when you come to Texas. And now I want to also talk about the pit in the mud, which we don't have to go into what it is, but those are assessments that homes in Texas, some of them have, and that their real estate agent nor the loan officer are going to bring up.
Right, which it means that you pay more.
You pay
Correct.
a lot more every single month.
In a nutshell, like what a PID and a MUD is, abbreviations, we're just going to focus on the middle number. So a PID, think of the I as being the middle number. So that's infrastructure. It's assessment for infrastructure for the future because that development is being built outside of city limits. So they need to have that infrastructure, and they tack on this massive, sometimes $30,000 or more onto each home that you will end up paying over time. And a MUD is talking about the U, and that would be utilities. Same situation. You're buying a house that's outside city limits, and they need utilities to have, water and all the sewage and stuff in the ground. But in the case where we just mentioned our buyer with a national builder who they asked for all of his money up front, he ended up buying a home for about $100,000 more in a development with no MUD. And he got a 60-foot lot instead of a 40-foot lot, and a house that was in a better area. All the utilities were finished for about the same monthly payment. So he was extremely happy.
But it mattered so much that we had this buyer talk to Gracie and talk about the monthly payment. Because then once he saw the monthly payment, he was like, wait, this house is $100,000 more. Why is the monthly payment the same?
Then he was able to understand the numbers.
Right.
And compare the prices.
So we always tell our buyers, talk to Gracie. We
Yes.
always say,
Thank you.
Talk to Gracie first and then compare. Because once you talk to her, she's going to go over the numbers. She's going to actually take time to explain things where the other people are working for builders. The loan officers out there that are with the builders, they're working to represent their best interest. They don't care to disclose everything to the buyers.
Right. Sean, I remember you were basically doing the lender's job and the real estate agent's job with one of your clients. You sent me a loan estimate and it looked awful. I was like, wow, if I was the buyer looking at the loan estimate that this lender sent to me, I would have been like, I'm not doing this. It looked awful. It looked altered. I mean, it was awful. I think I called you and I was like, wow, like the fees don't even make sense. So yes, a lot of the builders here in Dallas, they have their preferred lenders. And I'm sure, most of them are great, but you kind of have to go with your people and say, okay, who is it that I trust the most? Who is going to really make it happen for me? Who's going to give me an advice that it's real and honest and it's taking care of my purchase?
Yeah, because we are here to stay. We've been in business for almost 20 years. So we look out for our clients because we want to make sure that we get those referrals. We continue to get those referrals. So we're not going away. So for us, it's not just one transaction. For us is we're going to do the best we can for this client, because this client that came to us, we could have just gone to the builder and signed the contract and put our name on it. But instead of that, we said, let's go out, let's compare, let's look at other properties, let's take the time. And it was a lot more work for us. But at the end, they ended up buying a completely different property for a lot more than what they started, just because the payment was the same, thanks to you and your advice. And they were so grateful. And that is, we rather work hard for our clients because that's how the referrals come back anyway, because they appreciate that.
How hard is it to get that earnest money back from a builder? Can we talk about that?
That is such a good question.
I've never seen it done, honestly. I've never seen it done. So there are certain builders in town that are asking for $10,000 up front before you even sign a contract, which is ridiculous. I probably shouldn't mention their name, but let's just say you would know their name if you heard it. And this is standard practice. I've double checked and I had a debate with their manager over this. So it was pretty fun. And after my clients got to actually see how your process works, he was like, I'm so glad I didn't send that money. Like, I would never have seen it again. Correct.
Yeah.
You would not.
Because you know what they say? They say, oh, you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
The builder always says,
But then they send you a 30-page contract. I mean, really, my assistant, the other day, she was like, what? And I'm like, yes, those contracts are heavy. It's not your normal 5-page. How many pages are in a normal contract?
Yeah, more like 12 or
Yeah. So then you have 30, 40 with special, guidelines of their own, because they really get to make up whatever they want. So
right.
We do have to be careful when we go out there and look at all these pretty homes, the spec homes that they make you walk through it. Pay attention, get a realtor before you sign anything with a builder, before you do anything with their preferred lender. This is so, so important. I also have an experience with Sean where he was able to protect your buyer. Builders have great incentives, but it's not always for their best intention of the buyers. However, you were able to get the builder to transfer the same incentive and work with me.
Right. That's right.
That's right.
I forgot about that. Yes. But you didn't.
I still have it in my memory, yes.
Right.
And another thing is that you're probably thinking about is we guarantee you a 4.9.
Oh, yeah, the rate.
The rate. And once we sat down with the buyer and talked about who is actually paying for that discount, the buyer was able to understand, wait, I'm only going to live in that house for 2 years, and I'm the one paying for that discount. Mm-hmm. And it's not the lender, it's not the builder who's paying for the discount, it's the actual client.
Right. I mean, they make a profit. Just, it's commission.
They have to,
so they're able to somehow, some way make it work with the numbers. But the important thing here is use an agent. Even if you're looking at new homes, pay attention to the numbers, pay attention to the area. Don't give any earnest money just because you fell in love with the home within 3 seconds. Just get pre-approved. Know your numbers first. Hire an agent before you go out there and sign a contract with any builder.
And the reason you should hire an agent is not just because we're going to protect you and we're going to find deals, but we do actually find the deals. So builders have one price that they're able to put on the MLS, and they have internal numbers that they're putting out there, but they only put it out to agents who they trust. And they'll say, you know what, we got this one here for like, let's say 820,000. But we're willing to let it go for 720. And these are the types of deals.
We saw so many of them this year. It's so
we've
exciting.
got those under our belts now where we've saved our clients literally $100,000 on one property. So this is the work that we do behind the scenes that's people just don't know about it.
Yeah. And it's relationships. At the end of the day, real estate comes down to relationships. We have relationships with most of the builders in the north side that we can go and say, what deal do you have? I have this client, this is their budget, this is their specifics, and they're going to give us the deals. And because we're repeat customers to them, they want to work with us because they know that we know how their systems work too.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. It's always a pleasure seeing you guys and working with both of you. You guys are local in Dallas, and let us know if you have any questions about new construction.
Thanks so much, Gracie.
Thank
See
you.
ya.